In honor of my birthday month, I want to share with you some things that you can do while visiting Mexico City. This will be a two-parter, so if you're interested, keep on watching, and welcome back. This is Tierra Querida. Now, I'm sure by now, this is probably not your first video on Mexico City and kind of trying to figure out what you can do, but I do hope that you're able to find some valuable information. So if you do, give this video a thumbs up and share it and leave a comment. Honestly, this is probably one of my top 3 favorite birthday trips that I've ever done, and I did get sick, so I do want to warn you that this, kind of probably going to be part of your Mexico experience. Personally, I think that where you stay is so important in maxing out your time at a place, especially if you have a limited time at that location. So for Mexico City, I decided to stay at the Hilton Mexico City Reforma. I think it's relatively centrally located to a lot of things, and there's just so many things that you can do within a walking distance, so you don't have to pay for a taxi or Uber or public transportation. I love being able to walk, especially when I'm somewhere new or still newer to me, and I think this place or this hotel is perfect for that. I'm probably going to do a quick video review on this hotel because I personally just thought it was that good, and I will definitely be staying back. So if you're interested, keep an eye out for that review video. If you are not hungry at this point, I would suggest you go across the ways to the Palacio de Bellas Artes. You can kind of just hang out at the park area, walk around, or you can go inside, but make sure you check their hours to see if you are able to go inside. In the evening, there would typically be a market. So when I went, it was during the week and there was markets there, so you can buy some little gifts, or you can just find little knickknacks for yourself. Now, if you are hungry, I would suggest you walk over to El Buen Taco for some really delicious tacos and delicious aguas frescas. This is only a 7-minute walk from the hotel. So like I said, it's very centrally located in a perfect location for food, drinks, and fun. After you're done with your dinner, lunch, I would suggest you walk around Chinatown. And if you're gonna buy things there at Chinatown from the vendors, I would suggest you bring small bills. I'm talking like $20, $50 pesos, because you will likely be a little bit scammed, or at least it will try to keep, more money than they're supposed to. So having small bills is very important. I ended up just looking at it as I'm leaving you a tip. But yeah, they got me, so just be careful and make sure you bring small bills. If your day ends in Chinatown like it did for me, I would suggest the next morning you go over to Fonda Doña Blanca, which has some amazing and delicious breakfast. Most of the breakfast items were about 97 pesos or about $6 and they have a good selection. And if you're into fresh orange juices or any other type of juices, this is your place. And this is also a under 5-minute walk, so you can walk right over there and just especially if you're really hungry in the morning like I am, then this is the place to go. I'll insert some pictures of their menu. I would suggest you get the green chilaquiles with the black beans, and oh my gosh, they were so good. It wasn't like overly spicy, but it had enough spice to give your morning spice kick started. So I would suggest getting those, and some fresh pan dulce, of course, is a must, with a cafecito. I feel like people tend to disagree whether green chilaquiles or red chilaquiles are better. So if you have a preference, leave them in the comments. I honestly love both, but I do tend to make more red chilaquiles because it's just easier for me to make. But I will have green chilaquiles if it is on the menu. As you probably know, Mexico City is so freaking big, and I mean, it's kind of like a tri-city situation, and there are a lot of things that are very popular, and some things that might be a little bit more of hidden gems. I like to do a good mix of both, and this is my second time in Mexico City, and it's like first time that I'm doing exactly what I want. So I wanted to have a little bit of mix of both, and of course I had to go to the Frida Kahlo Museum, which is about a 30-minute drive depending on traffic that day. Now please note that you do have to purchase your tickets in advance, and they are about 320 pesos, give or take, if you are not a Mexican citizen, or about 17 American dollars. Like just about all of my recommendations, especially on super popular and touristy spots, make sure you get there early because you do have to wait in line a little bit. They only allow so many people in the museum/house, so you want to make sure that you have enough time and you're not running late, and you are able to enjoy your time at the museum. I would plan to be there about an hour to 2 hours tops, because when you are inside the house itself, you know, walking through the rooms and such, they will kind of rush you a little bit to kind of get the, you know, people moving and stuff, which I understand. But I personally like to read every little, you know, description of like the artwork and things like that, and learn a little bit more in depth of the art and the history. But I didn't quite feel like that was possible, so just be aware of that you might want to or have to take pictures and kind of look at the pictures back and kind of review what was there at the museum. After you have walked throughout the house, you will end up in an exit that leads to the patio that has a lot of beautiful plants, monstera plants. If you know me, I love monstera plants, and I think most people do. But anyways, that's besides the point. There is also a gift shop where you can buy some gifts, some, you know, recuerditos and things like that. And then there's also like different rooms, I guess you can say, where they have a lot of her like clothing, some artwork, and just different things about her and like that she owns. So if you're interested, make sure you go to those rooms and check them out. After checking out the artwork in the patio, going to the gift store, and checking out the other rooms, I decided to head over to Mercado Coaecan, where I found my way to this really delicious little food vendor, which is named Antojito Sandy. And honestly, the quality of food and just the service is top tier, so I would highly recommend you eat here. I decided to order the tlayuda with beans and some veggies and al pastor, and honestly this plate was really big, and I think it would definitely be something that you can share with a small child if you don't like to eat a lot. But I do enjoy eating a lot when I'm traveling, so there was no sharing. I did give my family some little pieces to try. I'm not that stingy, but I definitely ate all of my plate. And also we ordered some chapulines that were fried and were heavier on the salt. I've never tried these before, so it was kind of a first time for me, and I think I would recommend them just because I think you should try random little things that you can find that are kind of like the local item to eat, or, you know, all that stuff. So I definitely recommend you get the chapulines. I will say I would suggest that you add some salsa just to kind of balance out the saltiness of your chapulín. Afterwards, we ordered a ride to Xochimilco. Now, this is my second time at Xochimilco. The first time that I went was many moons ago, and I did feel like the people were just like a little too aggressive with trying to get your business, and even the driver was like, maybe you shouldn't go to that side, you should go to this side, and we ended up rerouting our ride there. Now, this could have been like a, you know, if you bring me clients, I'll give you a cut kind of situation, but it was definitely a lot quieter, and maybe it had to do with the fact that it was also during the week and not on a weekend. So just take that into consideration and do a little bit more research on which side you want to go on. Now, I can't remember the exact price, but I do remember it was between 300 to 500 pesos for a total of 4 people and a 2-hour ride throughout the Xochimilco area. We also stopped at a little bit of a sanctuary for axolots, and turns out that these guys are actually being studied for cancer fighting properties, which I thought was really neat. And also they can grow any part of their body again, including their brain. After heading back to the hotel area, we decided to stop at Matsu for a dinner, and I ordered the chicken katsu, which had a bit of like a curry sauce with some rice, and my family ordered some sushi and some other things that were really good, and I would highly recommend dining here if you can. After walking around a little bit, we decided to head over to La Casa de los Azulejos and just admire the beautiful tile work that was there throughout the building. I ended up the night by having a little bit of a dance session at the Alameda Central Park, and then having a nice little cute alcoholic drink at the hotel. And that wraps up today's video for part 1 of Mexico City. If you're interested for the part 2, check out next week's video. Bye!